As the words on that memorial say, we will never forget. It is altogether right and proper that every year, in this 21st year of the anniversary of 9/11, we gather, as millions of Americans will gather, to remember September the 11th, 2001. And there are a lot of things that we will remember. We will remember exactly where we were when we heard the news. We will remember exactly where we were when we watched on television, as I did, the second plane fly into the second tower. We will remember the anger, the fear, the confusion as we realized that our country was under attack. We remember today the 2,977 people who perished in that attack. We remember the 441 first responders who rushed towards danger, who rushed into the Twin Towers, who rushed into the Pentagon, who rushed to that crash site in Pennsylvania. And we remember the reason that our country came under attack. Our country came under attack that day for the freedoms and the values that that flag represents. That flag that we pledged allegiance to, that flag that we stood when we heard the national anthem sing. The values of freedom, the values of the right of the individual, the values guaranteed to us to peacefully assemble, to say what we want to say, to attend church or not to attend church, to be religious or not to be religious. The values that people in some parts of the world look at as a threat. That's why we were attacked. Because America has been and continues to be a beacon of freedom, a beacon of hope, a place that people want to come from so that they can enjoy freedom. Are we a perfect country? Absolutely not. But are we the best place on earth? In my opinion, we absolutely are. Today is a day of reflection, a day of remembrance, a day of resolve that we, individually and collectively, will always stand for those freedoms that that flag represents. Always stand for the freedoms that brought our country under attack, because they are freedoms worth fighting for. They are freedoms that the rest of the world strives for. They are freedoms that people in the rest of the world come here for. And what I want to make sure that when we never forget the people who perished. We never forget the bravery of the first responders who rushed in. But we also never forget the values that caused that attack, because that's what makes America special. That's what makes America that shining light. And as I stand here and look at the people who serve Louisa County, our first responders, our law enforcement, our community, I want you to know that as a community, as citizens, as the local government, we understand your willingness to put your life on the line every single day. And we appreciate it. And we respect you for it. And we want you to know that we know you stand between us and danger, and you stand between us and evil. And for that, we should be eternally grateful. One of the things that came out of September 11th, as the days moved on, We saw that in this country, what unites us is far stronger than what divides us. We saw a swell of patriotism. We saw a groundswell of appreciation for the men and women who put their lives on the line every day, that unfortunately, sometimes we don't think about until we have to have the service, until we call, until we dial 911. It was brought to our attention that every single day there are people standing ready to sacrifice their lives to save ours. We saw people proud to be an American, proud to say that they believe this country and they believe the values that this country stands for. And so, one of the big takeaways for me, that what we can always celebrate in America is the American spirit, the American people, and the knowledge that we still remain that shining example in the world that people want to come here. And so the lessons of 9/11, we must always pledge never to let them fade away, never to forget, and remember that as Americans, we set the example throughout the world.